Okay, so in this video we're just going to look at backups of the server and different volumes and how that might apply to businesses. On a virtual machine on a pretty old laptop, so it may run pretty slow. I've just sort of installed Windows Server 2016. If you go to Server Manager, that's where we're going to be running everything for. So that's your console for running a lot of different tools and features within the server environment. So if you click on Tools at the top and Windows Server Backup, now if you've not got Windows Server Backup installed as a tool, you'll need to do it through the Add Role section and find it through there. So to do that, you just click Next. It's not a server role, it's a feature, so you just scroll down and tick Windows Server Backup, make sure it's installed, so you'd highlight that and then install that feature. So I've already got it, so I will proceed. So if I bring that up, you should have local backup on the left, so no backup activities happen so far. So I'm going to schedule a backup. So if I click on Backup Schedule and choose Custom, I don't want to back up a full service. I'm not going to have enough space on this virtual machine. I've only created a small one. And then Add Items. So this has just got the disk, the C drive, and the system recovery on this server. So I'm actually going to go and do something extra here and create a virtual hard drive. So to do that, I right click on the start bar and go to Device Management. I click on Action, Create Virtual Hard Drive. I'm going to browse the location, put it on the desktop. I'm going to call it, let's see, .backup. Again, call it whatever you feel like you want to call it. So this is creating a virtual hard drive. I'm just going to make it small, sort of 1 gig, just for sort of this activity. You can make it a fixed size, or you can dynamically expand it as you grow your data. So in a backup scenario, it would be beneficial to have a dynamically expanding storage facility. I'm just going to keep it simple for now. So down here you can see the progress bar is moving up, creating the virtual hard drive. We should see that pop up shortly. Okay, so there we go. It's not initialized, so I need to initialize the disk. I'm going to change it to GPT, so General Partition Table. It's still, once it's initialized, it's not going to have a volume letter. So if I right click in this space here, again, this is where it's running a bit slow. Click New Simple Volume. Should get a pop up here shortly. Yeah. Next, and then assign whatever letter you want. I'm just going to keep it with the E. It's going to be NTFS. I'm going to perform a quick format, and that should bring us shortly to a new volume E. Hoping I'll just wait for that. Again, on a physical server, it should run a bit quicker than this. It's just because it's on a virtual machine. It's taking up all the CPU and memory usage. I'm just going to wait for that to pop up. It's just sort of assigning the letter. Okay, there we go. So we've got new volume E there, so that's our disk. So if I go to backup schedule now, it might take a little bit longer to recognise that disk. Again, on a server, this is sort of instant, or any machine that's got any power to it. So just sort of give it a couple of seconds. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. So once we've done this, we're going to select our files and then go into some other options, so configuring performance and some other things that we can do on a backup schedule. So here we go. So here's our wizard for scheduling the backup. So I want to do a custom backup because again I've not got enough space for a full server backup at the moment. So again, it's running a bit slow. We should be able to see our drive shortly. or new drive. So I'll click on add items. Okay, so there's our E drive there. Now that's obviously there's nothing on it, so I'm just going to select something on the C drive that I can back up. So I go to users, go to the public folder, and I'm going to back up the, let's say the documents folder. That's a pretty standard one to add, and then click next. So again, in a industry scenario, you could add many different types of items to this if you're not selecting the full backup method. So if you want to back up pictures, music, etc., accounts files, or any type of destination would be listed there, or should be listed there. Okay, so how often do you want the backup? So I'm going to do it, I'm going to keep it default for now, 9 o'clock at night, pretty standard. If you want to select more than once a day, then you can. Obviously the implications of that's going to be storage space and network performance or system performance. Okay, so I'm going to back up to a volume. So this is where that new drive is going to come in, I'm hoping. So I'm going to back up to that new E volume. Hopefully this works. So I'll click finish. So this is creating the backup schedule. Again, it shouldn't take too long. This sort of file size of the drives I've selected really would be instant on a normal server. Across a business, this backup process could take a couple of hours. Again, that's definitely something that he's thinking about when you're looking at system resource, network resources, system resources, and the effects on your users. So hopefully, yeah, so it's been successful. You've successfully created a backup schedule. First backup will happen today at 9 o'clock. Okay, so that's our backup schedule sorted. If it lets me actually close that. Yep, so close that, and then now it's got your little lists of schedules. When you come to log on, say I log on in 3 days, it should have a list of my backups here, last backup, next backup, etc. Okay, so another feature is this configure performance here. Now you can alter your types of backups here. So for example, on a normal server, you could have your network attached storage, you could have cloud storage, you could have, if you're old school, USB drives connected, and you can select the differences here of full backup or an incremental backup. So incremental backup differs to a full backup that it only copies data that's been changed since the last previous backup activity. So that saves storage space. So that's just another feature available when you're creating these backup schedules. Okay, so that's backup schedule covered, performance covered. If you go into your disk management now, this is the sort of area here. Doc backup was created. I put it on the desktop, so it's there. When the backup happens at 9 o'clock, it will be located there. Now, obviously, this is still a local drive, still connected to this server. It would be beneficial to have the drive connected externally to a network. So it's, if this machine fails, then I've still got copies of it. But hopefully that gives you sort of a introduction to server backups and system backups, and you can apply that to your own machines.